Exhale from the mouth, and let's do some more breathing. And let's try to feel and sense what is it for you, for each one of us, what is it to be intimate with ourselves? When you're just thinking about intimacy, being intimacy with yourself, what does it mean to you? Can you feel intimacy in your body? Can you feel intimacy in your breathing? Is the intimacy belong to special parts of our body? Is it sensation in the mouth, in the eyes, in the ears, in the heart? What is it for you to feel intimacy with yourself? And now try to imagine a person that you like, that you have intimacy with him or with her. Just try to imagine a person that you know that you have intimacy with him or her. And let's just try to feel what is happening when we are just imagining the intimacy with someone else. Is something changing from the inner intimacy with ourselves to feeling intimacy with someone else? And how does it feel? Let's take a deep breath and let's enjoy a little bit more the intimacy with someone else. Let's enjoy a little bit. We can really enjoy intimacy with ourselves. And slowly, slowly find a way to take another deep breath and open your eyes. You know, in this workshop, we will be with two main issues, also with intimacy and also with sexuality. And of course, there is a difference between intimacy and sexuality. But we will start with the intimacy issue. And because, you know, all of us here are psychotherapists and therapists from many various places, yeah, one of the things that we are working in our therapy room, yeah, we are working with our ability to have intimacy with other people. But just imagine now that you are the therapist. You know, we can be also individual therapy that are working with relationship issue. And then, for example, there will come a client, but he will speak a lot about his partner. Yeah. And then what will happen to us as therapists, we will feel the energy of our client, we will feel the energy of his partner, yeah, and we will feel also another energy of the relationship. And then we will have like three main relations in the therapy room, one with each one of the clients and one with the relationship. . And in couple therapy, this is, yeah, in couple therapy, yeah, we will just see, yeah, both of the partners. But also in individual therapy, we can really sense, even, you know, we have only the individual client, we can sense, yeah, his partner. And for me, this is one of the major things as couple therapist, is really to feel the presence and the energies, yeah, also of two partners, and also of the, and also of the relationship. And one of the things that I think we should really work with when we're working with the issue of intimacy, it's starting with with our intimacy with ourselves. And for me, when I did this exercise, you know, each one of you just had another sensation and experience. But for me, for example, when I'm thinking about my intimacy with myself, there is warmth. I feel sometimes nice waves. And I have a strong awareness to many parts of my body. And I have also awareness to my breathing. And I can really sense, I can sense many things. And as much that I can sense more things in myself, which means I have more awareness to my legs and to my pelvis and to my chest and to my abdomen and to my eyes and to my ears and to many parts, I can feel that I'm more close to myself. And for me, by the way, it's one of the, I can call it in other words, our ability to resonate or to have strong resonance. You know, resonance, it's one of the main therapeutic tools of a body psychotherapist. Because with our ability to resonance on many levels, we can really feel other people. We can have a bodily resonance, which means my body can really feel what is happening to the body of my clients. In couple therapy, it is more complicated because we can feel two partners. We have a breathing resonance because our breathing patterns are being affected very much from who is opposite me. And of course, we can sense it a lot in the therapy room, and we can work with it. You know, we have, you know, I'm from Israel now, and as you know, we have a really difficult time now in Israel. It's really tough. So what is happening, because there is a collective trauma, there is no breathing. And many people are in trauma, and many people are really suffering. And one of the way that we are working a lot now with everybody is with the breathing. And for me to breathe during the sessions, also in individual therapy and also in couple therapy, it's really a therapeutic tool. Because if someone is in trauma, acute trauma, or trauma that happened, it doesn't matter if it's happened 20 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 days ago, my ability to breathe can resonate to my client or to the clients, and then also the breathing of the clients or the people that are near to us can open. And by the way, only this thing can bring more intimacy. And when we are breathing deeply, sometimes we can really synchronize with the breathing of the person that is ahead of us. And this is also creating intimacy. So if I will go, I will go back again to my intimacy with myself. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel comfortable. I want to feel all parts of myself. And when it's happening, I can also have more connection and more intimacy with other people. If I will go to the relationship issues, because we want to speak now in this workshop about the bridge also from intimacy to sexuality, yeah? It's like two main aspects that are coming a lot in relationship. And many couples that are coming to couple therapy, they have issues. They have issues with intimacy or with sexuality, and many times it's both of them. Because of course there is a strong connections between intimacy and sexuality. We are saying in the biodynamic approach, yeah, that the way that we are living by the stream of the blood, yeah, in our veins and in our system, yeah, in the body and in all our essence. And the stream of blood, yeah, it's also a stream of energy, but also the emotions. We can really feel the emotions in our blood system. We can really feel streamings. And for example, when we feel anger, of course, we can feel the rush of the blood to our head. When we're feeling fear, there is a strong contraction. Yeah, and then everything is contracting, including the blood circulation. And there are many others, of course, examples about that really emotions can really stream in ourselves. And the streaming of blood is very much connected also to intimacy and very much to sexuality. Because also sexuality, if we want to understand it in a very physical way or bodily way, yeah, it is energy, and it is feeling, and it's libido that is inside our system and blood, and we can really feel it very strongly in the body. So for me, for example, when couple is coming to the therapy room and they're speaking and they're saying, no, we don't have intimacy, yeah? What do you mean? Of course, we want to ask them, okay, please explain us, what do you mean that you don't feel intimacy? And each one of the people can really share what is it, because intimacy can be many things for different people. For some people, for having intimacy, they have to have hugs, that someone will really touch them, or will touch their hair, or will be very close to them. And for some people, intimacy can be a very intelligent conversation. And this conversation and this communication can help them, yeah, to feel very close and to feel intimacy. So it's very important, really, when people are speaking about intimacy, also to ask them, what is intimacy for you? Do you feel that you have enough intimacy? Or do you have a lack of intimacy in your life? And for example, many people that are coming that are in relationship, they are speaking about frustration. And I'll give you like an example of this morning that I had a couple, and the lovely woman she was saying to her husband, she was saying, I have lots of intimacy with my friends, with my family, and I'm so miserable that I don't have intimacy with you. Yeah, but then we just want to explore it. When we hear it, when we feel it, we want really to understand, okay, so how do you feel it? How do you feel intimacy with other people? How do you feel intimacy with your partner? And it is very common thing that two people in relationship will feel that for one of them, yeah, intimacy, it's a lot of hugs, yeah, and for other, it's really like to send like an SMS or WhatsApp message that is saying good morning, I love you, or to send a heart. For them, it can be intimacy. So to explore the intimacy, for me, it's a big part, yeah, in the working with couples, even much before sexuality. And this is one important thing really as couple therapists, but also individual therapists that are working with relationship, really to understand what are the different desire and needs regarding intimacy. And it's really like exploring and asking, yeah, what do you need? And what do you want? And by the way, the main difference, it's those two questions, what do you need and what do you want? For me, there are two main questions that we can work with those questions a lot in the therapy room. And the difference from the body-mind connection is that when we are asking, what do you need? It is coming from here, from the belly. What do you need? What do you have? What do you have to do? So some people can really say, from the belly, I need love, I need support, I need safety. Yeah, there are many answers, yeah, that people can say what they really need. And the want, it is more coming from here, from the chest. What do you want? I want a vacation. I want freedom. I want love. But love can come also from here, and it can, but some people, yeah, that they didn't receive, for example, enough love in their childhood, and this is their big wound. Many people in relationship feel that they need to receive love. Without love, they can be, yeah, they can feel lots of tough emotions. So when we're meeting, for example, a couple, yeah, we're just navigating the therapy and we can really let them speak. And only from this conversation, that actually this is communication, yeah, they can really share. And they say, you know, I'm feeling intimacy with you, Ben, when I'm hugging you. And Ben can say to me, I'm feeling intimacy with you when I'm only hearing you, or when I'm only watching you. And it is very important really to explore. And of course, to understand very much about intimacy, it's starting with us. What is intimacy for ourselves? And this is, you know, there are many issues and many questions that we can ask ourselves. And as we know, as more that we are having as therapists, more awareness and more understanding about our narrative, yeah, we can also work more with intimacy. And what is fascinating, by the way, in couple therapy, but also with individual therapy, with relationship issue, that what we are doing, we are creating a deep intimacy with our clients. So just imagine, for example, yeah, that a couple is coming to you. You're a couple therapist, and a couple is coming to you. Yeah. One of the first things that we want to do, we want to have a joining, a good chemistry. In the couple therapy world, we are calling it to have joining, yeah, with each one of the partners. And when we are like starting to have the small talk and how are you and who are you, and people can start to speak about themselves, yeah, we can slowly create intimacy with one person and then with the second person. And by the way, it is not, sometimes it's not easy, because sometimes people are coming with lots of armor. And then as much as person have more armor, usually it will be more difficult for us to have deep intimacy with him. You know, because the armor, yeah, the armor is in our body. We have also a breathing armor. And of course, we have all of our defense mechanisms. Like some people that are rational and some people that are having splits. And, you know, there are like many defense mechanisms that people are having to defend themselves. And then what we are trying to do in therapy, we're trying to help people to have like understanding and awareness about their defense mechanisms and about the armor, and how do my armor really can hurt my ability, yeah, to be with intimacy. So if we will imagine two partners that are sitting opposite each other, and by the way, in the therapy room or in the couple therapy room, we have like 3 chairs. We have a chair for ourselves, and we can have like 2 chairs, yeah, for the 2 partners. And then usually what we are doing in the beginning of therapy, we're just having like a triangle, yeah, that we are speaking with each one of them. We're having like a chemistry. And then what we want to do is really to check and to see what is the dynamic between the 2 of them. Because they're actually, in the therapy room, in couple therapy, there are 3 main dynamics. One dynamic that is with me, with each one of them, and then the dynamic between the 2 of them. But there are much more, there are many, many more dynamics, because there is also the dynamic between me and the relationship. Because when we see couple and we see their dynamic and we see their energy, we can feel many things through the relationship. We can feel hope. Sometimes we can feel different completely. We can feel desperate. We can feel frustration. Sometimes when we are watching relationship, when we're feeling relationship, suddenly we can feel our throat closed, which means, yeah, it's a strong resonance, as we know. But what does it mean to us? That something is not being able to be said in this relationship. And then, yeah, the throat can be closed. I want to say more about intimacy, because intimacy, when we want to explore the intimacy of each one of us, or the 2 partners that we are working with, we want also, if we want to go deep to the intimacy patterns, we want to go to the narrative. So then, like, a major question, and it's a very simple question, you know, what I like about body-mind psychotherapy, because it is so complicated, and couple therapy is very complicated, because it's really to see 2 people, to see their body, their breathing, their mind, their emotions, their spiritual level, their movement, yeah, and the dynamic, of course, between all of them. So what I like to try to do is to see the simplicity. And the simplicity, for example, in the narrative, is to ask a very simple question, like, if there was an intimacy in your parents' house, did you ever saw your parents with intimacy? Did you saw your parents hugging? Did they hug you? Did you have intimacy with your brothers and sisters? With your parents, with your grandparents? Yeah. So then when we are checking, yeah, when we're checking and when we are feeling, yeah, the narrative of each one about intimacy, we can understand things. And by the way, when we are seeing a couple and each one of them are speaking about his childhood and about if there were hugs or intimacy in the house, yeah, only this can create intimacy. To speak about the narrative of my intimacy in my place, in my house, and that when a partner can speak about it and share with each other, this is really creating intimacy. And for me, by the way, when we, you know, many partners are coming to, many couples are coming to therapy for various reasons, but many of them are coming because there is a lack of intimacy, a lack of sexuality, a lot of explosive issues. There are many people that are coming in crises, when there are financial situation, or when they can't contain each other. So yeah, so it's really to feel what is happening, also with each one, and also with the intimacy of of the narrative of each one. And by the way, it's also to us for ourselves. If you want to do deep work about my ability to be with intimacy with someone else, I am also trying now, even now, I'm trying to imagine, did I saw intimacy between my parents? If I saw, it's lovely because I have an example and it can enter me. And many times, yeah, there is also intimacy between my parents and myself. But for me, what brings intimacy, it's expressing of emotions. And this is something that is really a must to explain to couples. Because when we are seeing dynamics between couples or people that are speaking about their relationship, many people can say, I think about this and I think about this. And then we can ask them, yeah, but can you share with your partner what do you feel or how do you feel? And this is really like to explain communication. And to be a couple therapist, there are many hats to the couple therapist. There is a very deep psychotherapy that we can do with them, with each one of them, and with the relationship. We can teach them, yeah, we can teach them to work with the body. We can teach them to breathe, and we can teach them many times really how to communicate. And we are doing it by modeling, because if I am, yeah, if I am making a deep connection with each one of them, they sense it and they see it. And then there is like intimacy between me and each one of the partners in the therapy room. And then they can feel it. Okay, let's take a deep breath. I want slowly also to move to the sexuality, but before we will move to the to the sexuality, I want us to do some exercise about intimacy. I will do a show and I will do another short imagery work with you about feeling deep intimacy of each one. And I will take you a little bit to your narrative, to your own narrative. Okay? And then I will divide you to small groups that you can also know each other a little bit. In every group, we are like 70 or 75 people. In every group, there will be like 4 or 5 people. And I will leave you there for probably like 15, 20 minutes. And then you could just know each other and you can just share some inner thoughts about the intimacy that you have with yourself or with others. Okay? So let's take a few deep breaths. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes again, please. And take a deep breath. And again, feel yourself, feel your body, feel the streaming of the energy in your body, feel the streaming of the blood in your body. Inhale from your nose, hold the air a little bit, and then just exhale. Exhale from your mouth. And try really now to imagine behind you, in your back, try to imagine your parents. It doesn't matter if they are here with us or they are not here, if they are alive or not. Just try to imagine them and try to imagine that they are facing each other behind you. And just remember and sense and feel if they had intimacy between them, which means if they had like emotional conversation, if they could share their love or their other emotions. So just feel the energy between them. and if there is intimacy between them or a lack of intimacy between them. And also, please now sense with whom did you have more intimacy? Was it with your father or your mother? And by the way, if someone else is coming, like a brother or sister that you have like strong intimacy with them or lack of intimacy, just let them be also in the energy. And now, please observe yourself and just ask yourself, how are my intimate qualities? Is it easy for me to be with intimacy with other people? Is it easy for me to be with intimacy with my clients? Or is it an issue? Just try really to sense and to feel. And just try to feel the word intimacy with your body and with your sensation. Does speaking about intimacy, is it fulfilling your heart or is it contracting? Are the places in the body and in the breathing that are expanding or contracting? And of course, it also can be both of them at the same time, because intimacy, it's a fascinating and complicated issue. So in 1 minute, you will find yourself in a room with 4 or 5 people. So please have like 2-3 minutes to each one, just to say, hi, my name is Gabriel, I'm a body psychotherapy from Israel or from London or Portugal or wherever you are from. And say a few words, few sentences about intimacy and you. How is it for you? With yourself, yeah, with your parents maybe. Just have like really 2-3 minutes to each one, okay? And I will let you know when the time is off. So just be with your experience now, okay? With this small exercise that you did, and just feel what is happening to you about your narrative, about our narrative. Okay. Let's move on. After, usually when people are coming to us, usually they're not sharing straight away, the sexuality or the sex, because sometimes it is something that is very delicate and people can really feel that yeah, that it can be a problem to them. No, I made you the host. If you can, there are people that are trying to come inside. If you can let them come inside, and then we want to see and we want to explain to people and to the partners or to the clients. We can speak with them about the difference about intimacy and sexuality. And this is something that sometimes it's very normal to understand what is the difference between intimacy and sexuality. But there are people, yeah, that it's that we really need to to explain to them. And we can see many times in couple therapy sessions, we can see people that they can say in the relationship, they can say, I really want intimacy, but every time I'm touching you, yeah, you want straight away sex. You think when I'm touching you and when I'm hugging you, yeah. So it's of course something that you think and that can lead to sexuality. And of course, as we know, sexuality is something, yeah, it is something different. It is wonderful, yes, sometimes to have intimacy together with sexuality. But for me, it's really like to have a safe place, because when we want to be able to speak about sexuality, it's a lot about our ability to feel sexuality with ourselves and our openness to sexuality. And this is something that we can see it many times, that as more that the therapist or myself, as more that I'm open more, yeah, to the issue of sexuality, and it is a convenience for me to speak about sexuality, then also people will be able to speak about sexuality. And sometimes we can be very embarrassed about it, yeah, because it's something that, you know, when we're seeing couple, it's a very normal to ask them, okay, how is your sexuality? And many people can say it's okay, it's not okay. And then we can also ask more questions like, so for example, how often do you do sex? What is your relationship to sexuality? Each one of us have his own narrative of sexuality. And this is something fascinating to work with the issue of sexuality. Also individual therapy, because some people, yeah, later in the second part, I want to speak about sexual problems and how we can deal with sexual problems of men, women, in general, sexual problems, how we can deal with them in the therapy room. But it is really starting about yeah, also having a safe place in the therapy room and letting people the ability really to speak about openly about. And we can see many times in sexuality different needs and wants. It is so often that is happening that one person will say, I have a very strong libido and I really want to have sex a few times a week. And the other person will say, well, I also like sexuality, but for me, once every few weeks, it's enough. But then we can ask many questions. But one of the main questions that I'm asking usually couples, I'm asking them, do you speak between the two of you about sexuality? Because by the way, to speak about sexuality bring intimacy. Because it's a very delicate issue. It's a wonderful issue to speak about. But many people from the narrative, they are embarrassed, they are shy, sexuality, even only the word sexuality can cause them to contract, yeah? And then when we are working with this issue, we are just, we want really to flow, we want to let them speak about it, about, am I happy with our sexual life? Do I have problem with it? And there are like many things that people that are very open can go deeper. They can go very deep in the relationship if they are open and they can really speak about this issue. For example, if they have fantasies, if they are happy with it, if they are asking their partners about their experience before them, if they are daring to do it. And it is a fascinating issue, as we know. Sexuality, it is a fascinating issue that yeah, it's also very interesting for us. So, and by the way, what is happening to us as therapists when we are working in the therapy room, when we're speaking about sexuality and when we are hearing people speaking about the sexuality, also my sexual narrative will be there. And it's very normal that it will happen. Because if a couple is speaking about the frustration or about the joy, yeah, if I want or if I don't want, I will ask myself also, okay, what is happening with my sexuality and with my partner? And then of course it's really to do the separation, it's to do the breathing and to be completely, yeah, to be completely with the partners, with my clients. I want to say also one of the things that I want that we will be able a little bit to practice here, that we can bring body-mind exercise to intimacy and sexuality issues in relationship. But we will go first to intimacy. And they're very, very simple exercise, body-mind exercise. And by the way, you know what is the most simple exercise in the world for intimacy? It's eyes to eyes. And it is so, what's the word? So challenging sometimes. And how we can see that people have really problems with intimacy that when they're not looking at each other. And that every time that they want to say something, they look at us, that we will help them. Or they will look at other place, yeah, in the therapy room. And for me, this is why one of the main, like, very, very simple exercise is just to let the two partners, yeah, sit opposite each other and look at each other. But we can take it, we can take it deeper, because then we can also, we can let them also stand near each other. So let's try to imagine now, yeah, that we are having a couple as therapists, yeah, and they say to us, yeah, they are together for 15 years, and they're saying to us, yeah, in the beginning we had lots of intimacy, we have lots of also sexuality, and then because of life and because of we have like 3 kids now, and because the stress of life, yeah, slowly sexuality become to be quite rare, and also our intimacy is quite rare. And by the way, when we're hearing it, you know what we will ask them? We will ask them, do you miss it? Do you want to come back to intimacy? Do you want to come back to sexuality? So for me, sometimes it's really, I'm telling them, you know, I will ask you, it's like a rhetoric questions. Because why it's a rhetoric? Because, yeah, sometimes if people are coming to therapy, they want to be closer, they want to have intimacy, but it's not always like this. Because many couples are coming to therapy not to be in all efforts together. Many couples are coming just to see, just to have like to see with the couple therapist, to see if it's possible for them really to live together their life. So if you are asking them, yeah, and they have problems with intimacy, and we want to ask them, do you want to have more intimacy? And they're saying yes, yeah.
I was going to say before that they always dress so nicely on these shows.
Maya, no, can you? So, and a first exercise is to let them sit opposite each other and let them just speak and share, and just ask, how are you today? Yeah, very simple questions. But if you want to do it even more, we will ask them, and maybe we can do it now by standing, and I will just demonstrate. So if you can just please stand up for a minute. Just please stand up for a minute. And just imagine, yeah, just imagine that you are standing here. And just imagine that in front of you, there are 2 partners, and they're facing opposite each other. And then we can really say to them, okay, please just stand. And it should be in the beginning like 1.5 meters from each other, that it won't be too close. Yeah. And we're letting them, just imagine it, we're letting them really to stand here. And then we're saying to them, please take a few deep breaths. And just look at each other without words and breathe. And see and sense, how do you feel now? And then please share it with your partner. How does it feel? How does it feel to look at your partner? How does it feel to be in this far away from each other? And then try to take a little step ahead, a little step ahead, and see what is happening. And then also please share with each other. And take another deep breath and just share what is happening to you when you are getting closer. And then we can ask them, please say something to each other, like, what do you feel that you want now? What do you need? And from this exercise, by the way, we can really see the dynamic between them. Because sometimes we can see people that are coming very close and they're hugging each other, and people that are going far away. And what is sometimes fascinating also is to see that one is coming closer because he wants to be close, and the other one go beyond because it is difficult for them. And then another way to increase intimacy, it's very simple. It's just to say to them when they're very close, okay, just let the hands touch each other. And then they're holding hands. And then we can say to them, okay, just feel the energy flowing between your hands. Look at each other or close your eyes. You know, one of the things that we're doing a lot is working with our intuition. So of course, it's an exercise when when they're in flames, it's very difficult to do it. It's only when they want to improve their intimacy. So we can really go and do some exercises like this. Another exercise, for example, is to let them just coming back to back and just be back to back with each other. And then when they are back to back, we can also work with imaginary work, and we're saying to them, close your eyes and just feel your back. Just feel your back to back. And just feel spine to spine and see what is happening. And we can leave them for a few minutes, and then we can ask them, okay, please turn around, sit or stand, and just share with each other, how does it feel? Okay, let's take a big breath and let's continue to sit. And by the way, we can do it also by Zoom, because if we're working with a couple by Zoom, and they're on the same, they're on the same frame, we can completely ask them, because what is happening, just imagine, that you are working as couple therapist or therapy or people with two people on, so what is happening that they're sitting close to each other and both of them are looking at us. So then it is fascinating to say to them, I'm here, but I want to ask you, please, to move, if they're on sofa, on chairs, please move opposite each other and just look at each other. And it is so simple, but then also, many things can happen from this exercise. Because what is happening that both of them are near me and both of them are speaking to me, it's another level of conversation. They are having intimacy with me as the therapist. But when I'm asking them, please turn around, and look at each other, even without words, or just say what is in your heart, or just say, how are you? Or if someone of you want to share something, we can see another level of communication. And by the way, only this can create lots of intimacy. But we can be we can work a lot with our intuition, with intimacy issues. So this is, for example, like this is like two major exercises that people can work. There are many more, by the way, Because, for example, I'll give you, like, for example, another one, yeah, that, for example, if one of the partners, yeah, is standing opposite his partner and is feeling with his heart, yeah, he had a tough time now, yeah, and he need lots of support, and he's feeling that his partner is not supporting him. You know what we can do? And we are asking the other partner, do you want to support him? He say yes. So we can say to the one that he really needs support, just stand, close your eyes, and then we are like saying to the other one, see if it's okay for you, and slowly, slowly put one hand on the back and one hand, yeah, on the upper chest, and just hold, yeah, just hold and just feel it. And by the way, it's a wonderful exercise to feeling the heart, because a warm hand on the chest and on the back, it's like someone can really hold, yeah, it's a very emotional place. You know, there are many emotional places. The three main emotional places in the body from the biodynamic place. One is the chest, that of course we can feel also love and also mourning, and also when the heart is broken, we can feel very much here. And when people are in depression or when people are having a tough time, of course, this place can ache. So sometimes we need to help partners just to feel it and just to have resonance for it, and just put their hand on the upper chest of the partner. It's a lot. And if they are willing and they are holding one hand on the back and the second hand on the chest, and they're really like holding this place, and the people that are the client that is receiving this touch is there, most of the time it's a wonderful feeling. It's really being supported. And it creates lots of intimacy. Mm. In a while, in like 10 minutes, we will take a small break of a few minutes. Yeah? Just if someone needs really to have a tea or a drink in a while. But till then, and then in the after the little break, we will go to speak and also to sense the sexuality. And another thing with partners that they are confused from intimacy and sexuality is really to explain them, but not to explain them also here only here in the brain, you know, like giving a lecture. It is it is really to even to demonstrate what is the difference when I'm holding hands. Let's try each one of us to imagine that we are holding hands with someone that is close to us, that we are in a relationship with him or with her, only holding hands and feeling deep intimacy, just feeling deep intimacy. It's like a nice sensation that is arising from the hands to the heart and to all the cells of the body. And what we are doing, if we want to move the sexual energy, what we are doing with our hands or what we are doing with our intention. If we want to move from deep intimacy to feeling of sexuality. You know what we will do, most of us? The hands will start a little bit to play with the other person's hands, palms. And then the touch will be with the intention. You know, people that are working with the body and with different types of touch, the main thing about touching is the intention. This I remember Gerda Boysen, I studied with Gerda Boysen 30 years ago in London, and she was saying it exactly. She was saying, when you are touching or when you are working with the body, the main thing is the intention. And it's exactly like this also in relationship. Because we can put a hand here, yeah, and we can say, I'm supporting you now with my hand. But you can also say, in a different touch, I want to feel strong intimacy with you, which will be like this. Or I want to feel tenderness. And if I will want to move to sexuality, yeah, the intention will start. Yeah, will start with my brain, actually. You know, the sexuality, it's a wonderful issue, but it's starting with the brain and with the eyes and with the hearing. And then something is happening to us. And then there is like a strong connection to our libido. And then streamings can start to come from the nerves, yeah, from the nerves from the brain that are coming down to all the body. Sexuality, we'll speak about it later. It's really not about the sexual organs. We can feel sexuality in every cell in ourselves. We can feel sexuality in the lips, in the eyes, in the ears. It's like, it can be everywhere, but it's with the intention. So sometimes when there are partners that I want to really explain to them the difference between intimacy and sexuality, yeah, it's really like going with the intention. It's also with hugs. It's like, it's really like, you know, a hug, it is something wonderful, of course. All of us probably needs it. It depends how much and how often. And also in relationship, it's a very important question to ask when a couple is coming or individual client is coming and is saying, I don't have intimacy or sexuality, or I have other problems. It's a very important question to ask. Do you hug each other? And then, of course, also to go to the narrative hugs. Did you ever saw your parents hugging? Did they hug you? Do you like to hug? Some people like to hug all the time. Some people really like to hug or not to hug, or it's very difficult for them. But also, it's a very different, just think about the difference between intimacy and sexuality. It's a very different hug of feeling deep intimacy. And then a hug with sexual energy. Because then something is changing there. The holding, the touch is, yeah, it is changing. And it's fascinating to see it. And it's fascinating issue really to let partner to speak about. Because many people are just not speaking about it. Even it's very, yeah, it's very simple. Because of course, we have intimacy in our life, we have sexuality in our life. So why won't we speak about it and express it and feel it? But this is something that we can do in therapy. I will speak later about the boundaries, of course, yeah, because this is like a major issue in therapy, yeah, that of course I want to bring intimacy. I'll give you an example before a small break. I have in my clinic a lovely woman. She is around 60, and she's amazing and she's beautiful and she's full of life. And she have a partner for the last probably 35, 40 years. But she didn't have no intimacy and no sexuality in the last 8 years. Nothing. And they're living together because they agree. Because they have lovely kids and they have lovely grandchildren. And they decided rationally, you know, they decided that they want to stay together. But of course, she have lack of intimacy, lack of sexuality. She don't want to go with other people. Yeah. But what is happening in the therapy room, because it's individual therapy, what I'm doing with her, I'm creating with her intimacy, a deep intimacy, because she's just speaking about everything. She's speaking about her narrative, about her traumas, about her wounds, about her friends, about her frustration from the relationship. So what is happening? Actually, we are building intimacy, and this intimacy is something that she really needs. With sexuality, of course, yeah, then we have like a strong boundaries. Of course, we can feel attraction, and it's normal to feel attraction to the client, and someone, it's normal, of course, that there is transference and erotic transference. It's normal to fantasize. And it is something that can happen a lot, yeah, but because we have very strong boundaries, that is saying, yeah, it's not possible to have sexuality. It's not there, yeah, but it can be a very intimate thing to speak about sexuality with our clients, also with individuals and also with couples. To speak about sexuality in a safe place can really create deep intimacy. So take a deep breath, and please let's take 5 minutes, but please no more than 5 minutes, okay? And let's come back to the room, and we will move to speak about sexuality in many levels. And in the end, also, we will speak about the bridge between intimacy and sexuality. Okay, so let's take 5 minutes from now, and just let's come back to the meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you. Noah, you are now in control. Are you the host?
Yes.
Can you let me be the host now? I want
Yeah.
to check the breakup rooms.
Just a second. Yeah, you're the host now.
Okay, good. Where are the breakup rooms? Okay. Breakup rooms. Hmm. Ah, I understand what was happening. Okay, so I did manually. Okay, now I understand it. Okay. 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 You know what happened now? There is a way that you are doing it manually and then automatically. And I did it manually, but I didn't vote. Because when you're doing it automatically, it is just happening. And this is why it was okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, good. Hey, Lene. Lovely meeting you. Wow. How are you? Long time, long time.
The clinic is really nice like that.
What?
The clinic. It's really nice like that.
Okay.
Changed.
Yeah. Okay, so if people are hearing me, please come back. Please come back, everybody, from the small break. Hmm. So hi everybody. If people can open the screen, it will be nice. If everybody can open, if it's okay with you, if you can open your screens, it will be nice to see faces. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You know, one of the things about sexuality that it's, you know, as we know, it's a wonderful thing in our life. It can be a wonderful thing about life, is really our ability or inability to speak about it, to sense it. And also because sexuality can bring so many emotions. As I said before, you know, everything is streaming in our blood system, you know, the energy, the emotions, the sexuality, everything, yeah, everything is there. And there is a very strong connection between sexuality and emotions. Because when people are speaking about sexuality or feeling sexuality, each one of us have his own narrative about sexuality. And as we know, there's so much, sometimes shame, guilt. Of course, when there are traumas or even without traumas. And, you know, there are so many levels of traumas with sexuality. And the thing again, as I was saying before, as therapists, also individual and also with couples, that as much that we will be more open to it and we will know our narrative. By the way, everyone that know, I'm teaching in one of the schools. I'm teaching like this 24 hours course of only about sexuality in the therapy room. And then one of the things that the students are doing, they're really checking the narrative about the sexuality. When was the first experience of sexuality? It's different, between boys and girls. When was the first time that you have a bra? When was the first time that you have your period? And when was the first kiss? And do you have fantasies? It's really like a question, 15 questions about anything about sexuality. So if someone wants to have this page, please send me after. Yeah, send me after a message or to Noah, and we will send it also to you. But when a couple is coming to therapy and they are saying, yeah, we have sexual problems, or there is something with our sexuality that we want to solve, yeah, then we need to ask them questions. And to be able to ask them questions, we need to be open about it. And yeah, just really like speaking about things like how often do you have sex? When you're having sex, how is it for you? If people can say, yeah, we are having sex, but there is an issue, or there is a problem, we want to understand the problems, even without being sexologists. Yeah, we just want to understand and to feel what is it. And also one of the things as psychotherapists that we want to see is what emotions, yeah, are connected to sexuality. And then there are many I think all emotions, because sometimes for people, yeah, they can have sexuality only if they feel love, yeah, but there are many others that can have sexuality also without feeling love. And there are people that for them there is separation between intimacy and sexuality. And one of the fascinating things, by the way, there are people that when they are in love with someone, it's very difficult for them to have sex with the partner. But if they don't have emotions, yeah, or deep emotions, it is more easy. And then of course it's really belong to the narrative. So we can completely ask, when we're speaking about sexuality, we can completely ask all kind of questions. We can ask about habits of porn, and we can ask about experience before, and we can ask, yeah, how does it feel, or what is happening, yeah, when you, for example, I'll give an example. Let's take a couple, yeah, that one say, my libido is very strong and sexuality is very important for me, and it is very important, and I'm very frustrated that there is not enough sexuality. Was it like this all your life? Was it with other partners? What are the emotions that you can feel about it? Yeah, we can really explore it more. And then when we're speaking with the other person, yeah, that he's saying, for example, yeah, for me it's very embarrassing, it's very difficult, I'm feeling very, very contracted when I'm thinking about sexuality. Okay, so then we can go deep with him. And we can see one thing that is really fascinating about couple therapy, that inside every couple therapy, there are two like individual therapy. And what is happening with couple therapy, yeah, the people are coming, each one of them will have his own process. And of course, with the inner process, there is also the mutual process that is happening. Let's do some short imagery work about a little bit about feelings of sexuality, and then feeling intimacy, and then feeling the connection between them. So again, let's sit comfortably. Let's sit comfortably and take a few deep breaths and close our eyes. And let your hands touch each other. Let them sense. Let the right hand feel the left and the left feel the right. And just feel that Let your hands explore a little bit. Take a deep breath and try to enjoy the feeling. And see what is happening now if you want just a little bit to be connected more to our sexuality. You know, we won't go deep here, but just try to feel what is happening to myself when I'm thinking, what is sexuality for me? Am I enjoying sexuality? How much do I like sexuality? What is my experience in life with sexuality? Am I open to speak about sexuality or to have experience in sexuality? Or is it more contracting me? Am I curious and open about sexuality? And try continue just to feel your hands and just think about it. I'll give you an example from this morning from a session that a couple came and they say that few years ago they were like many years together and they were bored and they were deciding to invite another woman to the sexual life. And they had like few meetings, like in trios, and they just had this experience. So see what is happening to us as therapists just to hear it. You know, because as we hear it, for example, or when we're hearing like fantasies or stories like this, immediately what will come to us is, okay, what is happening with my sexuality? Am I happy with it? Am I frustrated? Am I connected to my fantasies or not? So just continue to close and feel and sense the hands and take a deep breath. And slowly, slowly, put one hand on your upper chest and the second on your stomach, on your belly. And take a deep breath. And just sense, just feel the warmth of the hands on the hands. And with this exercise, in the beginning, let's move to intimacy. Feel again the word intimacy and just sense with your hands, how is it for me to feel intimacy with myself? What do I like about myself? When do I feel very comfortable? Do I like myself? Can I spend time with myself and feel comfortable? Because intimacy have a lot with feeling comfortable, with having streamings. Gabriel Shiraz was calling it to be connected to the pleasure principle, to our ability to feel pleasure in the body and in the breathing without sexuality. Just feeling pleasure that I'm alive, that I have a wonderful body. And in this wonderful body, there is streaming of blood, of energy, of emotions, of spirituality. There are so many elements. So take a deep breath, feel intimacy, and then see what is happening to us if I want to move to sexuality. And then feel the mouth, feel the tongue. Try to feel some pleasure in the mouth. Try even to imagine something that you really like to do with your mouth. Some people really like to kiss. Some people can enjoy from food, from different kinds of food very much. But try really to feel this sensuality that can bring to sexuality. And just imagine it and feel it and just ask yourself. And by the way, for example, continue, and I will give you like an exercise that we can work with also individual therapy and also couple therapy. When someone is saying to us, I'm not enjoying sex anymore, so we can ask him, did you ever enjoy sex in your life? And when he's saying yes, we will take him to this memory. We will say to him, okay, just try to imagine. And let's do it all now. Let's try really to imagine a time in our life with our partner or with ex-partner that we had a beautiful sensation and beautiful experience of sexuality. And it can be with intimacy and love, or maybe for some of you it can be with not. It doesn't really matter. But just imagine a time in your life, on an episode, there's something that is just a memory that is coming to us straight away, that we had a beautiful memory of a really lovely sexuality, that we really enjoyed it. And just be with it and see and feel what is happening to you, what is happening to the body, what is happening to the breathing. Do I miss it? Do I want to invite more of the sexuality that I had to my life? And just see, how do you feel? How do you feel now? Also with imagining sexuality, and take a deep breath, and also with how intimate do I feel with myself or with others. So try please now in this small exercise to move and to feel both, because we have the ability also to feel intimacy with ourselves and with others, and also to feel sexuality with ourselves and with others. And take a deep breath and just see whatever is coming to you. And slowly, slowly open your eyes. And this time, I will succeed to put you in the breakup rooms. I understood why it didn't happen in the beginning. So please, we will be like in groups of 4 or 5. So please just share a little bit, just share first your name and where are you from and a few words about yourself. And just say, if, it's open and everybody should feel safe, say few things also about intimacy with yourself. And if you want also to share something that arises to you with sexuality. So each one can have like few minutes, okay? And I will bring us back later to the main room. Is it Talja? Yeah, what's your name? Can you?
Talia.
Talia, hi. Where are you from?
I'm from Serbia, from Belgrade.
Ah, lovely, lovely. Did you try to go to the breakup rooms or it didn't happen?
I don't know how.
Ah, let me try to find you and
Dosta. Diši tamo. Tišina. Nije.
okay.
For me,
You
didn't
sent me
appear.
something, but I didn't press the button.
So press the button. And Georgia also, you want to go to the,
Yes, but I cannot. I didn't show something. I don't know.
Mm.
There are many people that are not in the background.
Yes.
Georgia, where are Georgia?
Perhaps I'm in the mobile and it cannot be. Perhaps I have to go to another.
No, it should be. It should be. Ah, yeah, I can see you here. Move to room, let's say, number 2.
Okay, now it's appeared. Okay, thank you.
And Stanislava, do you want also to move to a room? Stanislava, where are you? Ah, Noah, how are you?
I'm okay. Some of the people are not in the big list, so I think they came from other
Ah,
people.
okay,
I'm just doing the list over here. So
okay, okay, lovely. So probably let's see to tell me after or tomorrow how many people we have
yes.
from the list. But try also to write the all the names also for
Yeah. I have the names. It's about 9 people that are not in the list that I can't find.
okay. And you have the full name?
No, but I'll just check now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Hi. So you didn't
Hi. Sorry, I fucked it up again somehow.
It's okay. Let's try to see what is happening now. Okay, I see you now. I see you here. Let's take you to room number 1. That's it. Okay, good. Okay, so actually, no, I think all of those people that are here, they didn't choose to be in the breakup rooms.
Yeah.
Also, you, right? You have like
Yeah, I just chose to not join.
okay, how do you do it? How do you choose not to go?
When you do the group thing, there's like a thing on the screen that says if you want to join or if you want to stay here. So I just pressed stay here.
Stay here. Okay.
But if you don't press anything, you're also staying here.
Okay. Hi, Anatush. Ça va? Ça va?
כן, סבבה. Yeah.
How is your sexuality today, Anat?
My sexuality is amazing.
Amazing, lovely.
How is your sensual? How is your intimacy?
It's starting to have connections, trying to have connection with my sexuality. Yeah. I'm doing my
Mm.
best. Yeah, we have two, Anat.
You do.
We have two, probably we have two, Anat. So probably one is the intimacy, Anat, and one is the sexual, Anat. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we get together, and it's amazing.
Oh, really? How lovely.
Yeah, yeah. נשמע טוב.
Yeah, good, good.
אתה, כן. יוצא לך יפה.
I will bring people back in 5 minutes or maybe more, maybe 7 minutes. Yeah, and then I will continue to speak about.
תן להם עוד טיפה, כי יש כאלה שרק עכשיו הצטרפו.
Yeah, yeah.
אז לא תן להם לדבר.
מגיע להם לדבר? כן. It's interesting. There are a room of 5 and there are a room of 3 and 2.
טוב, אני אצא עם התמונה, כי יש לי שם מישהי שאתה מבין, אז עדיף לי להיות בלי תמונה.
Absolutely.
טוב, ידידי היקר, חיבוק גדול.
ביי ביי. ביי, ענתוש. Yeah, there are no. I think I sent to at least 5 people. I send them the link without them registered. So if you will have if we will have the list, we can go over it maybe tomorrow, and we can.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to come back so I can see the full name, and then I'll write it down.
Okay, lovely.
Noah, you can see their full name in the chat. They have everybody that joined is written joined as a guest.
Oh, that's
You can-
right. Thank you.
Yeah, you can just take it in the chat, and then you can see as well everybody who left. Yeah,
Thank you. Yes.
you're welcome.
Gracias, Anna, gracias.
Noah, I think as well you can take even a screenshot of that page, so it will be easier for you instead of keep on writing it. Of you do command 4 and then
Yeah.
you.
I already wrote it. I'm just looking for what I have. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, and now who is Melanie? Melanie iPhone. Hi, Melanie. טוב, אני אביא את כולם בחזרה עוד שנייה. Anna, how are you, Anna?
Nice. We had a great conversation actually with my partner,
Lovely,
Peter. Yes.
lovely. Hi, Katya, good to see you. Hmm. Okay, good. I was worried a little bit. So hi again, everybody. So when we are going in therapy and we're speaking about sexuality, yeah, we just need really to be very open that there will be lots of emotions, because of course, if there is in the narrative of each one, there are traumas, yeah, there will be lots of feelings and lots of emotion like guilt and shame. And then really sometimes we can have to do like individual therapy inside the couple therapy, which is a big challenge. And if we can feel that we can handle it, so we can really suggest to the one partner inside the couple therapy that to recommend that he will go to individual therapy. But this is something that is really about our ability. Another interesting issue, by the way, in couple therapy is when do we meet, or how do we meet each one of the partners, sometimes by themselves. Because it is possible, yeah, inside a couple therapy, from time to time to have a session with each one. And then we can just know and feel more things about each one of them. But there is a risk, because sometimes people in couple therapy can say to us something very private, and then they're saying, please don't tell it to my partner. And then we really need to have like a deep intuition. Is it okay for us? Is it smart for us? Is it okay? And it is possible to hold it. It is possible to hold the small secrets, but it's a lot about really the ability of the therapist. I want to speak a little bit about when there are difficulties or sexual problems. And usually when there are problems, people can feel very embarrassed, because to speak about my personal problems, if, for example, men have problems with his erection or premature ejaculation and other stuff, yeah, it is very sensitive to speak about it, yeah. But from the other side, it is very important. And then, yeah, we can, there are many versions that what we can do as therapists. First, if we feel that we can't handle it, yeah, we can send them to sexologists. We can send them to Radmila. We can send them to gynecologist. We can send them to someone that is having expertise about sexuality. But for myself, I feel that if people are open to speak about the sexuality in front of us, so absolutely we can be there and we can do work with it. And the thing is, usually that when one of the partners have like an issue, yeah, so the other partners needs to have lots of patience help, to help the other partner with the issue. Women, for example, sexual problems, they can have vaginismus, they can have difficulty in penetration, they can have inflammation, and then it's really about being very, very sensitive, and from our experience to see, okay, because most of us are not, we are not sex therapists, but because sexuality have such a body, mind, breathing relationship, I'm feeling very comfortable to speak about it, because also for me, for example, when a man, let's take an example. I had this in my clinic, this man that he has a strong libido, but what is happening to him when he's very close to penetration, he's losing his erection. Okay, it's called like fear of penetration. Yeah. But physically, or body mind, or in the body psychotherapy, what is happening to him actually? Yeah, he's all aroused. He can feel his erection. He feel that he wants to come inside. Yeah, but then something is happening to him. Yeah, and then the blood is not there. Yeah, in his penis, and then he can't really penetrate. But what is happening actually? There is fear. Because just remember what fear is causing us. Fear, when suddenly we can feel fear, it is causing us to contract. And usually also, it's very important also to see what is happening to the breathing. Because when we have fear, also our breathing is contracting. So then we can really suggest, we can also work individually, but also inside the couple therapy, and we can speak about breathing, and we can teach mindfulness, and we can teach meditation. I think this is one of the fascinating tools that we're having as body psychotherapy. And so many people really need this therapeutic tool. But for example, for this guy, that have like a fear of penetration, the exercise that I gave him, I say to him, first I was speaking to his partner, and I say to her, I said to her, look, you want to help him, so of course you need to be very gentle and be with him there when it's happening. And then it's really like to have awareness to what is happening and what kind of fears. And for us, the psychotherapy, the deep psychotherapy work with him is to understand what is the fear about. Usually it can be connected to his mother. It can be connecting from fear of that someone is hurting another place, another person. And by the way, you know what was the story for him? When he was a child, he felt or he heard, that his mother didn't want to have sexuality with his father, and his father forced her, and he just saw it and he heard it. So of course it's like a trauma with him, and then he has like a thing with himself that he's saying, if I will penetrate someone, I will cause them damage, and it can be very, I can do something that will be very wrong. So usually really it's going to the deep therapeutic thing, the psychotherapy world, but also to see what is happening to the body and what is happening to the breathing. And in many, many places when there is contraction, or when there is lack of breathing, or when the breathing is stopping, then also the sexual issue can arise. And for me, by the way, the fascinating thing about, I call it BP4C, it's like body psychotherapy for couples, is to do the combination between the body psychotherapy world and the couple therapy world. And I really believe that every individual therapist that is doing intimate work with clients and doing a very deep psychotherapy work can be also a very good couple therapist, because we have beautiful tools. We have tools of movement, and we have tools of breathing, And we have tools we understand about touching, and we understand about the body and the breathing, and about all the effects and the connections between between the body and the mind. Radmila, you want to share something or to ask something?
Yes, I would like, no, because it is very nice that we have some tools and so on, but this man has a trauma, early trauma, not to be protected, because if this is not only the trauma that he heard the mother, it is as well the trauma why he was exposed to such a situation so early. There's no protection. That is the start of the trauma. So somehow there has to be a possibility to go there much deeper than in this place to relieve this fully, no?
Yeah, absolutely. So then what, you know what we're doing as couple therapists? We are doing the deep work with him, but we want to take also his partner with us and to help him. And then it's like, you know, the partner, she's not his therapist, she's his partner. But when inside the couple therapy, I am doing a personal therapy with someone, and there is only the presence of the partner, the process is very touching and is very deep. Yeah. But of course, again, it's about intuition, because in some cases it can be the perfect thing, and in some cases we need to do it by ourselves. And then we really need to use the intuition. But it is something that when we're thinking about sexual problems, we want to understand and to see, okay, where did it start from? And by the way, another important thing that I'm asking a lot about sexuality, I'm asking about the first experience of sexuality, which is very important, because sometimes the first experience can be traumatic. And then
it is, sorry again, and it is, if this is so, it is showing that there is an early trauma existent. No? This is interesting because it is not for nothing happening like this in the first moment. No?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very good therapeutic question to ask people about the first experience. And sometimes, by the way, when someone have I'll give you an example from a few days ago. A person was saying to me, a client was saying to me that when he was 14 and a half, 15, he went to the Netherlands to the, you know, the, what's the name of the street? The
red light.
Yeah, the red light. And his first experience was with a prostitute. And it wasn't a nice experience. It was, for him, it was quite a humiliating experience, because he was with few friends and he didn't want to go, and they pushed him to go. Yeah. So then we can do, you know, for me, one of the fascinating things also about working with in body psychotherapy is to help people to go to do a positive experience, or to try to help them to go to a positive experience. And then we can do it with imagery work. And we can just ask him, okay, we can say to him, let's call him Daniel. Daniel, this was experience. You are very sorry about it. I'm also sorry to hear it. It's really, I can feel lots of sadness now when I'm hearing it about this experience, that it wasn't correct for you. Try to imagine, try to tell me, what kind of experience would you want that will be your first experience? And then, you know, if he will speak about it, something, for example, can move. And this is, for example, in this direction, but it's this positive experience can go to many other levels. But we will stay with the sexuality. Sometimes there are shared problems. What are shared problems in sexuality? Shared problems can be decreased desire or lack of desire. And people can sometimes, it doesn't matter if it's after 1 year or 5 years or 10 years, and suddenly they can feel from the pressure of life or from many other things, yeah, they can feel that they used to love sexuality very much, yeah, and suddenly they are not. So then it's really to explore it with them and to ask them, since when, what was happening? Is it the pressure of work? Is it something that happened? You know, in Israel now, I'll say something personal that is happening in our country, that there was a lot of, on the 7th of October, there was a lot of rapes and there was a lot of attacks, sexual attacks. And it causes to many more women, but also men, to have a very strong anxiety, because there were many situations like this. And it was published, and it was in the New York Times and in many other places, and lots of videos. So people were just being in shock, yeah? And it took many people that had traumas, it provoked the early trauma. And then it's really about being there and supporting. And yeah, it was really, it is a very difficult time now in Israel, but it's also fascinating time in Israel now, because we are studying so much about traumas. Unfortunately, it's devastating. And actually also a thing that is happening now, that actually we're like trying to contain what we can't contain, because we heard so many tough stories that it's so difficult to contain. But it's, you know, but I just want really to say, and I will say it also in there, we really want peace. All of us want peace. I think every psychotherapist that is working with people and also working with couples, we are also helping couples to make peace with themselves. Because many couples, they're coming to a place when there are flames and when they're fighting each other. And when people are fighting each other, it's a very challenged place to be the therapist. But just imagine the couple is coming to you and they're just fighting and screaming and shouting, and they're having so much aggression to each other. And then what we really need to do is really like to calm them down and to breathe with them and to let them speak and to let them try really to sense each other and to hear each other and to regain empathy to each other. Because usually when there are such flames, they can contain each other. And this is a big challenge for us when a couple like this is coming, really to help them just to be there. So if there is like a lack of desire, or a very different needs between wounds, it's really about just speak, let them speak about it, and see, and just see with them what can help them, to bring more desire, and if it's possible. And by the way, sometimes the situation that it's not possible to go in the bridge. But the secret, and then I will go to the intimacy, one of the secrets about working with sexuality is to remember all the time the intimacy issue. And in many places, when there is problems of sexuality, the intimacy is going wrong somewhere. So then we will leave a little bit of sexuality and we will go back to the intimacy. And we will tell them, okay, what can you do? What can you do to increase now the intimacy between the two of you? One of the difficulty situation with working with couples, the couples that are coming to therapy and they're saying to us, we didn't have sex for 5 years or 3 years or 1 year. And I heard it many times. And then to come back to sexuality, if they don't want to separate, it's a major issue. It's really not easy. And it have to go first to create intimacy and to see, okay, what was going wrong? And what are the emotions? What are the deep emotions that are inside it? David, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I didn't want to disturb your flow, but I just had a question.
Please.
It was inspired by the red light district in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
We're talking all the time about going from intimacy to sexuality, and I was wondering, do you ever deal with situations where your clients are coming and saying, we're having plenty of sexuality or plenty of sexual experiences, but there's a lack of intimacy within the sexual experience?
Yeah, the answer will be very simple, sure. Sure, and people, yeah, that are having lots of experience. There are people that are having lots of experience with sexuality, but the heart is not playing there with it. This is actually what I want to. It's the last sentence of the workshop. Is that I hope for all of us, we have experience in our life that we have intimacy with sexuality, and then the feeling and the experience is very, very strong. And it's something that from our experience we can really help people to have this bridge. I want to say, yeah, of course, just to say like few other things that of course I was doing like a supervision group this morning, and there were two couple therapy that came to this, and in both of the situations there were two couples, and those two couples have little children. Yeah, two couples, one were gay couples and the other one was straight couples, and both of them have one kid that was like half year and the other one like 3. So, and they have lots of issues and lots of problems. And you know what I said? Of course, because I don't know many couples that don't have issues when they have small kids, because when the small kids are coming, they're changing all the blueprint, yeah? Everything is changing. And this is why this is one of the reasons that normalize things to couple. It's one of the therapeutic tools. It's just to say to them, yeah, it's not easy. It is really complicated to have a relationship when you are having 2 little kids, and when the mother is, for example, is not sleeping well at night, or the other partner is not sleeping late at night, and when there is giving milk to the baby. So it is causing a very deep change in life. So normalizing thing, it's like a therapeutic tool in yeah. Another issue is porn. That as psychotherapists that want to deal with sexual issues, we should really speak about it. And it's an okay question. You know, with individual therapy, usually I won't ask it unless the person will speak about it. But in couple therapy, that they're coming and saying, we don't have lots of sex, or we don't have completely sexual life, I will ask them directly, but do you masturbate? Do you watch porn? And if yes, if someone is say yes about them, I will say, okay, but is it every day? Is it once a week? Is it, yeah? And then we can see in many places addiction for porn, addiction for masturbation. And sometimes it's really like a substitute for sex life, because it's more easy. And if people are really in stress and they're working very hard and they don't have energy to invest in the relationship, and just find like one evening a week to have some romance and to have a free time and to have a nice bottle of wine, yeah, and then to prepare yourself to have like intimacy and sexuality. Sometimes people are in such a stress that they don't really, yeah, they're really not trying. So as couple therapists, one of the things that we are doing, by the way, is really say to people, yeah, please find one evening a week. Just have time to yourself. We don't need to say to them, you have to have sex, or you have to have, but we can say to them, just be together. Just ask yourself, or ask each one, how are you? How was your day? How do you feel? And of course, if they can do something once a week, it is very important, because it's happening probably to all of us, because probably all of us have experience with relationship. It is happening like this, that suddenly we don't have time to each other. So it's really a lot is coming from our experience, and our experience in relationship, and our experience with intimacy, and our experience in sexuality. They will enter the therapy room, and it is important. when sexual traumas are coming, of course, they have a strong impact about the couple and about relationship. And then if we see and sense that one of the partners, had a sexual trauma, we just need really to investigate, to search and to see, did he went to therapy? Did she went to therapy? Is it close? Because when there is a sexual trauma and it's not being dealt, and it's not being in therapy, of course, it will have a strong effect on the other side. So then we have like responsibility really just to be there and to really try to help and to see, can we do some work with individual inside the couple therapy, or if it's really difficult and it's very complicated, it's really important for us really to suggest, that he will see another person, another expert sometimes in sexual traumas. I will say something that will also make the bridge, from intimacy to sexuality, and I will go back to the breathing. Let's take a few deep breathing, okay? Because when we are just speaking about intimacy and sexuality in the last, it's like 2.5 hours that I think I say those words very much, but when we're just hearing those sentences, or when we're closing our eyes or trying to imagine our intimacy and sexuality, many things are happening to us. So for me, a very lovely exercise of working with couples is to let the couple sit opposite each other and tell them, please close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, and to do like an exercise with mindfulness. This is, by the way, I think all of us, or most of the body-mind psychotherapists that I know, they have lots of experience with meditation. And it's a wonderful tool to give to clients. And so many people don't have any awareness about breathing. And as you know, this is one of the rules about body psychotherapy. When there is a repression and when there is armor, the defense mechanism is creating an armor, but also the body is being closed, but also the breathing is being closed. So then just opening the breathing and breathing with the clients, it's a major tool. It's a really major tool. And by the way, it is also bringing intimacy. Because when a couple, we can say to them, please experience some meditation together once a week, a few times a week, even for 5 minutes, even for 10 minutes, and then just share what was happening to you. It's a lot. So then it's really, how do we work as body psychotherapists or couple therapists? We work with our life experience. We work with what we study. We work with our unique way of working. And I don't know if we are like 70 people here. Each one of us, is working different. Marina is working in Marina way, and Helena is working in Helena way, and David working in David way. And this is the fascinating things about being a therapist, that you should really find your unique way to work with people, and with what therapeutic tools you're working, and with what levels of resonance do you work. And this is something that I always remember also as a body psychotherapist and couple therapist, or doing the combination of the two together, like I call it really BP4C, body psychotherapy for couples, is to bring all of our awareness and all our experience from the body, mind, breathing, emotion, connection, and really to help people and to give it to people, to help people also to understand, and also to experience all those dynamics and all those ways. So there is a deep connection between intimacy and sexuality, and what we really want to do as therapists or couple therapists is really to explore it with the partners, to have a safe place in the therapy room, also individual therapy and also couple therapy. And this safe place can really be a wonderful place that people really can share, and people can really feel their inner intimacy, feel their sexuality, and they will be able really to speak about it, which is not easy. Also for us, you know, it's, I think for me also, I'm embarrassed. Many times I'm just embarrassed to speak about sexuality. I'm taking a deep breath, yeah, and then it's also fascinating. And this is what I have few friends that they are like sex therapists. So then from morning to night, they're just speaking about sex all the time. And but it's very different. It's very different. The body psychotherapist or the couple therapist is different from the sex therapist, because the sex therapist can really speak about the most intimate things and giving exercise and going very, very deep. And I'm going also deep, yeah, but I'm going deep, yeah, on the psychotherapy side, and I can, from my experience, I can give them like exercise or things, but there is a difference. I want to say to you before we will end, and maybe a few people can say something. I want to share with you, from my experience, what are the 12 main issues in relationship. Yeah, because for me, I really feel and think that every individual therapist, body psychotherapist, can become to be a wonderful couple therapist, again, because we have a deep understanding, yeah, about all the levels, the body and the mind and the emotions and the spiritual side and the movement side, yeah, and the sexuality. So we have lots of experience about it. So yeah, so for me, like the like 12 main things about relationship are the first one. When I'm thinking, it's also I'm starting this wonderful course about to become a couple therapist that is working integratively with body psychotherapy. So the first meeting, for example, it's the first meeting, the setting for couple therapy. What do we do in the first meeting? And then needs versus desires, conflicts, and mediation methods. It's a major issue in relationship. And then there is working with the narrative. And this is to do a deep psychotherapy work with the couple. And then the fourth session is about tension, stress, and crisis situation and routine in couples relationship, because most of the couples that are coming for therapy, they are coming from crisis. There are people that are coming because they say we want to improve things, but many couples are coming because they are in a crisis. Communication styles, individual and couple patterns, because as I was saying before, we really help people to help them to improve their communication. And then the sixth one, it's called the primary couple personality and couple armor. I wrote two articles about it, about the primary couple personality. If you want to explore, please look at the link and you will see those two articles. And then there is what we are doing today, the seventh one, and then we are doing it, it's a whole class of 5 hours that we are working with therapeutic work, with intimacy and sexuality. And then is working with explosive issues like control, money, aggression, that it's really complicated. And then the ninth one is aspect of spiritual and beliefs in a relationship and their impact on the couple. And it's also really fascinating to see the spiritual connection. And then for me is one of the fascinating issue as couple therapist is really to identify the dynamics in the relationship on all levels with couple body psychotherapy. And then is the therapeutic space and the process of summing up, closure and separation. And separation, because what we are doing as couple therapists, sometimes we are escorting couples for separation, and it's okay. Not as we know, the percentage of divorces are very high. And when people are coming to couple therapy, you know, with myself, like it's a high percentage that are staying together, but there are lots of couples that are deciding to separate. And then the last session, it's really about helping each one of the students really to find this unique way as a couple therapist. That for me, it's also about for me, it's a fascinating thing all as individual therapist and couple therapist is really to find your unique way. Because as I was saying before, each one of us is working a little bit different with his own life experience, with his own narrative, and with his own expertise. Few are experts. I know experts for movement. Few are experts for meditation and mindfulness. And each one is and lots of working with the body and with the mind, and each one is really finding his unique way. But this voyage, yeah, and the understanding, yeah, and the bridge to move from intimacy to sexuality, for me, especially in couple therapy, for me, it is fascinating to work with this issue. And by the way, not only in couple therapy, also with individual therapy, because many people are coming to individual therapy to help themselves, yeah, because they have like issues and problems about it. I want to invite each one of you that want to they want to become a couple therapist. Yeah, I want to invite you to think about it, to see the program, and if you want to have like a Zoom meeting with me, I will be very happy. We have like a group that is starting on the 8th of February, lovely group of people that will start, and I would love more of you to join. And yes, and I would love maybe to the end, maybe let's take a few deep breaths. Let's hold intimacy and sexuality with ourselves. And let's feel it. Let's feel it in the body. Also feeling the intimacy inside ourselves. For me, for example, you know what I did when I wanted now to connect to intimacy, I did this. It's like I'm letting my two hands holding my chest and my heart. And it's like I'm warming my heart. It's like I'm saying to myself, Gabriel, yeah, you like yourself. Yeah. And it's a long process. It's a long process and wonderful process to have deep intimacy with yourself. And when we're having deep intimacy with ourselves, we can have a lovely intimacy with others also. And we're not projecting on them all the time. And it's more easy to have intimacy with others when we're having intimacy with ourselves. And sexuality for me is a wonderful thing. It's really a precious thing in life. You know, and as much that we can have more connection to it, and we can speak about it, and we can feel about it, and we can feel, yeah, the connection between intimacy and sexuality. It's a wonderful voyage. So we need like to finish in a few minutes. But I want also to, if someone have questions or have any inquiry, please, yes, you can send to Noah, that she is my assistant, or send directly to me, and I'll be happy to speak and to answer. And I would love, yeah, if someone just, if you just want to say a sentence that is coming to you, or just to say a word or a sentence, you're welcome. David, what did you want to say?
I wanted to say, how much do you focus and think about love, loving, being in love, looking at the different dimensions of emotion?
A lot. I think it is wonderful, you know, the love, yeah. Gerda Boysen was calling our connection to our primary personality. It's to our essence. It's mean also to connect to the love inside us. And as we know, to feel love to our children in relationship, or to friends, or even to our clients, it is a fascinating thing. It's a wonderful thing that is fulfilling us. And of course, when there is strong love, there is also usually also strong spiritual connection with people. And this is why I will take you again to the most simple exercise in relationship and couple therapy. Let people sit opposite each other, look at the eyes without speaking, and just going inside and just feeling. And then let them share, how do you feel?
Thank you.
So it was lovely, lovely meeting you. Lovely meeting you. I'm curious to meet all of you. And I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to see you maybe in the course or maybe in other workshops in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gabriel.
Yeah. And I want to wish us all, especially, especially Israel and especially all the places that have war, and also to, to the Arabs in Gaza and to everybody. I want really to wish all of us peace.
Yes.
This is what we really, really, really want. We want to live in peace and with love. So lots of love to all of you. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much.
For a lovely session.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Thank
Gabriel.
you. Thank you, Gabriel.
Bye, Talia.
Bye. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you very much.
Lots of love. Bye bye.
To you as well.
Bye, Marina. Where are you from?
I'm from Greece.
Ah, lovely.
Yes. Yes.
Our friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So all the best.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.